Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I do hope you're having a great day today. It is Wednesday, and Wednesday is now Workers Wednesday. I'm going to be trying to give you guys a Workers and Resources video here for this playthrough once a week now, every Wednesday. The game has gotten to the point where it is very slow to get things done. It's just, I kind of equate this like leveling in an MMO. Okay, or leveling in any video game, right? You start out level 1, and as you play, it's the simple things, right? You can end up leveling up to 2, 3, 4, 5. You level up pretty quickly, right? And I consider that level up to be a video I can release in this metaphor, okay? Well, as you level up and you start getting to the higher numbers, it takes exponentially more experience points to get to that next level, right? And in this case, for this metaphor, experience points are work, okay? Work that I have to do on my end and time that it takes. And so it is taking exponentially more time to get things done as the game progresses. So we're going to go down to 1 video a week here. I'm going to keep going for the end of the year. I said I'm playing this game till the end of the year, and I meant it. But we're going to get things done as far as we can. All right, so this is Charlemagne's North. They're working on the roads. They're working on... You know, helicopters are helping out here. There's lots of stuff going on over here. And I have an idea for you guys. Leave me a comment if you'd like, but it's on the community tab as well. And we're going to try this tomorrow just to see if it works. I'm going to give you guys the live build cam. I don't know how else it's going to go, but maybe it could be an every Thursday thing. I don't know, because Thursdays are pretty consistently... I'm pretty consistently unavailable on Thursdays. Medical University just got the vaccine done for the winter. Very good. Winter's about to start. Any second now, it's going to start snowing. And frame rates will tank even more. I am looking to do like a live build cam. And basically what I would do is I would set up the camera to be maybe this angle. It doesn't really matter which angle it is, but I guess it does kind of matter for you guys. But essentially, I'm looking to live stream the build of Charlemagne's North. And I would just leave it like this. And that's it. And over time, things would start to get done. Maybe not here, you know, it might be, you know, a different angle. Maybe it's over here, or maybe I'll tell the builders to kind of focus on a single part of Charlemagne's North, and so they'll ignore this side, and that way I can just have it zoomed in a little closer. Whatever. The point is a live stream that shows the build happening, because I need to let it run in order to get this stuff done. There's no other way for me to do this other than to just let things run to get things done the way they need to get done. So, you might see a live stream live tomorrow and go, what's that? What's going on? Charlemagne's North live build. What does that mean? That's what that is. It's just a live cam shot of the build of Charlemagne's North, okay? We'll see how that goes with people. It's something that you could have on in the background, maybe check in every once an hour or something. Be like, how far has it progressed? I don't know if it's going to be interesting. I figured I'd try it out once. For this video, as the thumbnail probably alludes to, we are going to be kind of letting them do their thing over there. I've got Zernovsky doing its thing with the tunnels and also helping out with that town that's way over here, Warstok. And then I've got Charlemansk, most of all these crews working on Charlemagne's North. But at the moment, Magnitograd really doesn't have a whole lot to do. And I want to keep everybody busy, right? I need to make sure that all the crews and stuff are busy working on things. So what we're going to do, I don't really care about these pumps, is we're going to design the other side of the river for Magnitograd. Now, I don't know when this happened. Sometime between designing this part of Magnitograd and this part of Magnitograd, we had an update to the game, right? And I think it rebalanced a few buildings, because these buildings here have 337 worker capacity at 89%. Sorry. There's a 337 worker capacity at 89% flats. Okay, and that's great. All right, I like to see that. That's great. But if you go over to these ones are 295 at 84%. And what's weird to me is if I go over to the residential side and I try to find my big buildings, there's only one version available to me. Like, I don't have a 337 building available to me. One that has 337 workers capacity. I have no idea where that is, but it's nowhere here. And so it's getting me to like think that maybe this building has just been rebalanced in between. That's the only thing I can think of, because the image for this building is the same as this one. The same. And then also here. The same. All right, just pick it up a little bit, right? The same. So I think it was just rebalanced at some point, and it made it 84% with 295 instead of 89% with 337. So I don't know what happened there, but in either case, we're going to use that building over here because it looks the same as the rest of these buildings. And maybe I can get away with it, but I'd like to maybe see about copy pasting if possible here. So we're going to go ahead and cancel this road. And then we're going to come over to our clone tool. And I have no idea if this will work, because if there's any nuances in here at all that won't work, it'll usually stop you. So we're going to go ahead and do something like this. Yeah, incorporate the roads too, I guess, if that counts. It's also going to incorporate, looks like, some of the power lines here. But we're going to take this segment right here, line it up perfectly. There we go. And we're going to bring it over here. And I'm just going to drop it in over here, I think, somewhere. Let's just, maybe it's slightly off. It doesn't have to be perfectly lined up, but we can do something like this. And it didn't really give us all the buildings. Some of them failed, but for the most part, we have it lined up similarly to how that one is. Right? It's just a little off center. It's not perfectly straight, but that's okay. All right, so we have another area over here where people can live. And then I think what I want to do is we're going to have some stores and stuff like right here for these guys, and then another row of housing right over in this area. And then from there, we do no more housing, because at that point, we are too close to the heating plant, okay? Because the heating plant over here is, you know, right to the train tracks over here is 600 meters away. I'd like to keep us more than 500 meters away from the heat. So right about here is basically where I'd have to cut off on that. Maybe we could get away with people living closer to the river. That'd be kind of okay, at least up to a certain point. And so I'm going to go in with the dirt road, and I'm just going to put a dirt road like right here. That's going to be my visual cue. It says, you don't have anybody closer than this. I'm just going to kind of do this. If the house is closer than this, you can't, not residential, okay? And we're going to see how well that works. Go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. So I haven't really done a whole lot of planning here for this side of the river, but I figured I would probably mimic a lot of the traits that are going on over here with maybe some changes to how it works. For example, having a sports complex closer would be a good idea, since the whole indoor pool thing didn't really work out. And everybody has to be taken over here with a bus in order to get here. So I want to, you know, address that and look at that. And then also all the buses and stuff that are bringing people to their jobs over on this side is pretty important too. We have a lot more people that could be working steel, for example, and aren't, because I don't believe there are enough buses taking them over where they need to go. And just double check and see where you're getting dropped off. Yeah, over here. I could just drop you off here and you could still go that way, right? So I could have these buses all turning in here and dropping them off in here. It's probably a better idea, right? I don't know if these buses are doing that. These buses have a different route. Maybe I'll add them to this route. I think I will. We're going to add new buses to this route over here. So we're just going to go ahead and get from the road depot. I'm going to get some more of these buses. Let's go with these are the Chav B14s. So 1, 2, let's get 3 more buses for this. And then they're using an end station already. That's this one over here. So yeah. We're using this end station right here. I think I can probably redirect them to use this one instead, but I think there's already some people using that one. It's a small one, so it's not something that I want to use a whole lot of here. We still have this gravel road I have to do. Let's take a real quick look before it starts snowing too badly here. Let's take a real quick look over at Warstok so you guys can see it. And it's almost there. I mean, there's a lot of buildings here that are just work days left, and that's what we're trying to queue up, right? I have a lot of buildings with just work days, and so that's what we've got going on over here. Some of them will require additional materials after those work days, but some of them are, well, actually they seem to be all work days. Yeah, so I guess there are some buildings like this that I was looking at, but yeah, a lot of these are going to require a little bit more delivery, a few more deliveries by then. Okay, so anyway, I've got the expansion to Magnitograd over here, and I'm going to let it run through winter because it gets really difficult to run the game to build for you guys. It gets really difficult when the snow's down, especially when you can't see the plans very well and everything with the white roads. But essentially what we have here is a copy of that. I've brought over and, did the extra buildings and stuff that were not copied over yet. If I look underground, there's nothing happening there. And so you see the plans, how they're really hard to see now. So we've got all those in, and then the road's going to come this way. And then I've got two different things happening here. There's a merger over here like that for the one single lane road. Same thing with this. And then it also comes out this direction and meets onto the highway here. We're going to have a lot of buildings and stuff through here, but I'm trying to manage the traffic so that we essentially don't need to have cars coming in on this road and having them turn around. Although, it looks to me like I did this turnaround a little too early, because this turnaround here is happening before that road. So I'm going to need another one over here anyway. Maybe it's not a big deal. So we're just going to come out like this, whip it around, let's say like this, and then we'll meet up with the road like so. Well, if I can get it to cooperate, this is fine. We'll just do it like that. So now if they're coming around, they can get out here, and then they'll go where they need to go from that point. We also have the repair station here. A lot of these guys are going to walk over there and work, and we'll be able to repair boats there. And then over here, right, we have that area where we're going to end up building our own ships, right? This is the dry dock. And the dry dock, well, it's going to need storage for steel and wood and, all the stuff that we need for building the ships. So, the storage and everything is going to have to get on these little factory connections and stuff. It's fine for now. We're not going to be doing that just yet. We need to get a population center going over here first before we can handle that. And then the other thing we want to make sure that we can do in this area is we can deliver goods and services, because the train is coming through here and it drops it off directly into these two spots. But that's really for this side. And I don't want trucks to be stealing supply from this store to provide it for this store. So this store is going to have its own separate logistics bringing it in. We have this train track that comes through here all nice. And this is right before the airport. And we're actually going to set up a drop-off point where we can see trains dropping off resources for both this town and also for the airport and airplane production facilities as well, because we're going to be making our own planes eventually, right? And so if I go into advanced industries and go to the airplane production line, this gigantic building here is going to be where we make our planes. And this building needs to kind of be indented in a little bit so that we can get warehouses and stuff around it. We need to figure out exactly where that's going to go, and that's going to require me to also know exactly where my runway is going to be. So we'll talk about that later too, but whatever I do for the trains here to drop things off, it needs to be so that we can drop this off from both locations. And that means I have to get on both sides potentially. So what I'm thinking of doing here is we're having a split, because this is a long track that doesn't have any splits. Kind of like this did, it splits off and then it has its own little thing going on. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing here too. We're going to have the train track split out this way. And we'll get you to line up. There it is. And then I want you to hug the power. There we go. Splits off this way, and it's going to go into dropping off whatever it's going to drop off. But then, right next to this, kind of at the same time, they're the same intersection sort of thing. We're going to have you also come out like this. There we go. And you're going to go really tight to the rail on this side. And so this is going to allow us to have warehouses and stuff we want to drop materials off for the stores will be here, and all of our distribution centers and stuff will be right on this side of the rail. And then as far as the plane or airplane production goes, I'm either going to do it here and share with the airport, or I can do it over here and have its own separate runway and everything, and then have the planes basically take off and fly to this airport. I don't like that idea, but it's technically possible. You can have them just fly and then land. It's not great, but we could do it if there's not enough room. Okay, I let it run for a little bit here. We're middle of December, and I just wanted to give you a little recap. So I got everything done right here, right? It's all in good positions, and bus stations and stuff. They're all kind of ready to get built when the time comes, but right now we're building the roads. I think I'm going to actually have the roads cross right through here. So just out of the tunnel, there's going to be an intersection. I kind of, it's dirt right now, right? But I think I'm going to have them be smooth transitions instead. And then I feel like I want a bridge of some kind to make this flow smoother, or maybe a roundabout immediately out of this would be probably a better idea, something like that. So I probably will end up remaking this road, but for now it's just going to be like this. And remember, this is my cutoff line where I don't want anything to be closer than this when it comes to people living. I don't want anybody to live in this area. So there's going to be a lot of, like, I think some jobs could also be in here. We might be able to do some manufacturing stuff. I'm thinking maybe another sawmill, like boards and stuff. We only have, this entire republic has one place where we have boards. It's right over there. That tiny little area over there has been supplying boards to the entire republic from that one spot, with the exception of Zernovsky, which imports them because it's just cheaper to do that. There's no reason to have the trucks driving that far for boards, right? So I went ahead and did that. But as we start to build out this stuff over here, which this tunnel is done now, by the way, so we can actually literally drive on this side of the river now. This is the first time ever we've been able to get a car driving on this side of the river. So that's pretty good. But as we build out this way, we're going to need a source of boards. I have no boards anywhere. So I think a sawmill could be a cool place, a cool thing to do over here. It doesn't require that many workers. They can drive themselves here already anyway. Could be okay. On this side of the train tracks, though, is kind of where I wanted to start planning. And I realize, again, it's winter, but I need to get moving. So I don't want to wait forever for this to happen. So we're going to go. On this side of the train tracks, what I'm going to do here, I think, is we're going to go over... you know what? Just copy and paste these buildings. Just grab this building. So what I want to do is I think I'm going to have one of these kind of go... basically, I want to mimic this, but I want to make it a little bit bigger so I can have more things in the center, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have, I think, this road or this building kind of come out about here-ish. Maybe about here-ish. I'm going to leave a space. It's going to be about like, maybe like that. And then what I want out of this space, I don't know if this is going to work, all right? But we're going to have a train track come in, I think around here about like this or so. Okay. And it's just going to wrap around. What I'm hoping to do here, and maybe I can fit it in this side. What I'm hoping to do here is I want to see if I can't get a train station in here for these guys to ride the train. And we can take them over into the industrial yard over here and possibly get them to where they can, you know, go that way or work at the airport or something like that from train. And then instead of it being a train, of course, it being a tram because they're much smaller and they can move through there. I'm just concerned about traffic moving through here, but I want to leave the possibility of maybe getting a rail to just wrap around these buildings. And so I think that's kind of what I've got so far right there. So we can look at, you know, the trams, this road connection, and putting this in like in an opportune position where that can happen. It's probably too tight right here. I would assume this is too tight. Yeah. I probably have to back that up just a little bit more. Probably. This is also a dirt road that just bypasses this whole highway right now. So I can also get rid of this road because they can just use the regular highway. This dirt road was put in place for us to build the highway and so that we could get people over to heat while they were building the highway. So I really don't need this road here anyway. So on that note, I can probably go, you know, something more like this. Yeah. Why don't we take this road out of here? Nobody's going to use it anymore anyway because the concrete one is built, or the asphalt one is built. And then I got the detector right here, the pollution detector thing right there. Okay, so if I was doing this, just hypotheticals, right? We go in about, let's say, like this. No idea. No idea. And this is the right direction. Doesn't cross or anything. We go like this and then like that, right? Seems fairly easy, pretty straightforward there, no big deal. And then the road, we would have you come, it has to be in a kind of a straight line. So out that way, it would go about here. all the way across this way to this part there. Yeah, that seems about right. Straight to the water's edge there. And then what we would have is this road with tram track would then start and turn this way. And then this would end up being that all the way into a station of some kind. All right, so we could have a station be in here, like over in this area. So it's a hypothetical thing. I'm not committed. But if I was to do this, I would have this building be right up against this one. I would want them to be lined up with the train track. So about like that seems to be good. Yeah, something like that. And then it would go about here. 1, 2. Let's say right 2, like that. Leave a space. This way we can cross over top of the tracks. So we want that walking path to be able to go over the tracks. That seems pretty good there. And then one more right here. Come on now. Yeah, and then we can close it up on this side. And it would go out about this far. Maybe we leave a space so that we can get a walking path through there too. Yeah, and then same thing kind of over on this side. We would come over like this. Yeah, right here. Bring it down this way. Pretty much lines up. I can fiddle with that too. I think I will actually fiddle with that too. Bring this down straight from here. Let's say maybe that far. Maybe a tiny little change here in where that is. It's not going to be straight, right? Has to be. Well, I mean, as long as it's exactly aligned with this. See how when I copy it, it shifts it. It rotates it. So I have to have it rotated. Yeah, there we go. About like that. Okay, so if I was to look straight down on this, you know, it'd be about here ish. Seems okay. This one here goes like that. Leave a space. This one goes about here. It's not perfectly lined up, is it? It's not. It's not. But it's gonna be fine. It's angled, right? It's getting closer and closer to the road as it goes. But I can tweak it. It's cool. I'm mostly just placing things down as I guess a test right now, just to kind of see whether or not this is even worth it. Yeah, it needs to be backed up a little bit more, and then we'll get one over here. Now, if I did that, this road, what we could do, I suppose, is we could branch this road into 2 roads. We could split it into 2 roads, right? If I can maybe get the, oh my gosh, frames. It's totally stuck. Okay. So I would have this road maybe come out from here. It comes maybe over this way. Or no, split the other way, because that makes the rail a bit more gentle. The cars can handle it. So the cars would go this way. The buses, whatever, right? We have them go this direction. And then it would come in like so. And then the one with rail, the tram track with rail would come out about this far. And then it would come out. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Right here. And then just bring it straight into here, I suppose. There needs to be a station somewhere. So let's say a tram stop large tram stop. Okay. We'll just do it about right here. Easy. Okay, and then this road is coming around the whole thing, and it ends up merging in over like this. I don't know why I would do that. You know, come to think of it, like, buses can stop here, right? I mean, I don't need I was going to have a tram stop and a bus stop. That's where I was going with this, but the tram stop and bus stop combo thing is not needed, because buses can stop at trams. At the same tram stop. It's no big deal. So just bring this straight over again. Straight-ish over. Like that. And then we just cut a hole here. We put the tram stop in. Like this. I guess we'll put it over this way, I guess. So I have less tram track. That's probably better to do, right? To have less tram track. Because it's expensive. It takes a lot longer to build that. We'll go about here with it. That's fine. And then the tram track will just go from there to there. Yeah, that's fine. And then this goes like that. I don't think we need to go in a loop or anything. The trams can turn around just fine. And then they'll turn around and go back on the rail. So we end up with, you know, they come in from this side, they merge, they do their thing, and they turn around, they come back out, right? At least I think they do. They can turn around in there, right? Isn't that something they can do? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm gonna say it's not a thing they can do. Well, in that case, new plan. Okay, new plan. And this is actually, I think, an even better plan. We're gonna take tram road out this way, okay? We'll wrap it around. We'll go this direction with it. And we can bring it out this way. And by bringing it out this way, I mean, probably can just have it be... Yeah, I'll have it be a basic road here. I don't know if I should just use this one. Should I just use the one that's here? It's very bumpy. That's the problem. It's mostly just a gravel road that I don't want anyone to use. But I was thinking we could bring the tram out this way, and then they could take the tram out to any industries that we have out this way could then be serviced by this tram. And then the tram on its way back could then, you know, I guess come back and then go out that way. So the tram's route would actually be something like this. We would pick people up, take people over here, come over, pick people up, take people this way into here, come back, pick people up, go back this way, and that's the loop, right? I think that's an okay loop. We can make that happen. I know it's hard to see. I'm sorry. It's the winter time, but I got to get moving with it. And then it sucks though, because I have to, when I, you know, am doing all this, I have to do it kind of when I'm paused, because frame rates won't allow me to have a very smooth time unless I'm paused with this. Let's have this road go right alongside. If I do that, is it going to be bumpy? Actually looks pretty smooth, because it's not right on the edge. So that's fine. We'll have that happen. So we'll have you go out like this. That's fine. And then I'll want to have a road, gravel's fine, that comes off of this and merges onto here. So if any cars do want to get on this road, they can, to go this direction. And then this will probably have to be asphalt, which is kind of on par with this one, because we have asphalt up to here with this one too. So that will kind of match up. That'll work out okay. Yeah, I think we can run with it. I mean, it's interesting. I think it looks interesting. We could run with it. There's a lot of houses through here. It's obviously not exactly where it needs to be, because the houses are just a little bit too close. So like from here, we would probably want to bring it even further back. We could bring it back about this far. Let's get it to pause really quick. Let's get this to line up. Good enough. You know, we could bring it back maybe like this far instead. I don't want it to be super close to the road. It's like I can't make it parallel to this road. It's always going to be off just by a little bit. It's just the way it goes, man. Here we go. Maybe if I had made the road second instead of the buildings first. It's okay. Right here, and then we bring it over like this. This looks okay. It could be worse. Yeah, this is fine. So it's basically the same idea as this, but a bigger scale. And there's more people living over here. But these guys are moving with mass transportation for the most part. We can get parking lots and stuff out this way, and they could use them to drive around in various different industries. I want to make sure I have a good workforce available for the airport, and I want to make sure I have a good workforce available for building ships and the heat, of course. And we need to have probably another heater, because I bet you we're taxing, because this is very dense, and it doesn't seem like it's that many buildings, but they're in very, close proximity to each other to the point where it's very dense. And density, well, this is not accurate here. I need to move this. This doesn't look good. I bet there's a bunch of people out there right now that are going, yes, thank you for adjusting that. Oh, my OCD. Did you know 2.3% of the population has OCD? Like diagnosed, all right? Apparently they all have YouTube accounts and they all watch my videos. There's so many people that claim OCD. You don't have OCD, stop it. You don't have it, right? You're just being anal about positioning. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have your ways, you have your things you like, and that's fine, okay? If you actually are diagnosed with it, then I'm not talking to you. Like, this doesn't apply to you specifically. For everyone else, just stop it, okay? Stop. We're gonna go, I think on this side of the road right here. I think I'm gonna make this a roundabout though. Let's wait until this is a roundabout before I start dinking around with that. Yeah. So in this area here, should be pretty simple to see what's gonna happen here, right? Stores, shopping, right? We don't need, however, like over here, all the space was occupied by fire, police, right? Hospital. We don't necessarily need that, right? We're not even close to over on capacity for treated patients. And the hospital here with its helicopter and its many ambulances can totally reach patients over here, right? And it's built that way. This was always built with the intention of having these buildings serve that side too, right? You can see how the roads, well, maybe you can't because it's winter, I'm sorry. But you can see how the roads go through here. And yeah, I know, I could probably need more plows on this side of the road. I don't think I have nearly enough plows in this city. I don't like investing in them. I don't believe in them. I'm not a believer in the plow. No, but seriously, I probably should have more plows. I have lots of garbage trucks, not enough plows. So maybe that's something else we could put over on this side. We could put more plows on this side. Although there is only one road in this entire area here that allows them to cross underneath here. So in that case, this tunnel is going to be very busy. This tunnel right here is very busy. We might want to consider somehow getting another tunnel in that can bring people across this river. I never really thought about that being a big deal, but I'm starting to think maybe it's a big deal. I could do it over on this side. We could have them come down this road like this. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Huh? Crossing here and then just having to go past the building and around. Why? To balance it out. And it's honestly working really well. That's the best way to balance right there. Just make them walk further. There you go. So yeah, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll get the road maybe right here. Could be okay. This is an okay spot for it. The thing is, any crossing you make, it's going to be very busy with traffic. So you kind of want this to be an area where there isn't a whole lot of traffic anyway. I'm thinking another roundabout in this area would do it, with a tunnel that goes like this and then underneath and pops out over here. It's probably how I want to do this. We'll look at that possibility later. I'm just going to mark it down over here so I have it. We're going to say maybe right about here. Just bring this. We don't want to get too close to the rail. I might have to also put things between this. Let's put it like right here. So I'll mark this down as a potential place for a tunnel to go underneath this and come out on the other side. And I'll mark that by just going like this. And we'll have to go down about this far probably. Yeah. Oops. Hey, what the hell is that about? Don't do that. No, I know what it is. I just don't want it to do that. There we go. All right. There we go. And then we move it down this way. Really? So you are... Oh, that's... Well, I'm going to have to... I'll dink with that. I'll dink around with that later. It's not a huge important thing right now. But yeah, we'll plan on having another tunnel out this way that allows them to go from this side over in. Because what I don't want to have happen is to have all these cars that are parked on this side, which we're going to have more. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of cars on this parking lot. We can change that, actually. So we can go over to our cars right here. And I have to get used to this. This is something they did with the UI in this game, with the updates and everything. how you click a building, it opens it up. You click another building, it doesn't close the previous one. And so you're going to end up with lots and lots of windows open. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's an auto close. If you just click anywhere outside, it closes all of them unless you pin one. So like in general, I think it's probably smoother to have it be that way. I'm just going to take a while to get used to, because it used to be like you had to go like this and then you had to move it and then click another one, and then you'd have them both open if you wanted them, or maybe 3 to like move them around. You used to have to do that. And now you don't have to do that anymore, really. You just click 3 buildings you want, and then you just transfer, go. It's way faster. I get that. But I'm gonna have a problem with this UI for a little bit. I'm an old guy that just stuck in my ways, man. I know I use old. I have a lot of audience that's older than I am, but hey, I feel like once you get to your mid-30s, mid to late 30s. God, I'm almost late 30s. Ugh. Once you get to your late 30s, I feel like you have the right to at least mention every once in a while that you're old. Just every once in a while. All right, you have to. It's enough to where you have to remind people. At a certain age, you don't have to tell people that anymore. They just know. But I'm at the age where I have to sometimes tell people, hey, by the way, did you know I'm old? I'm just kidding. Okay. So back on topic. All right, let's not do silly things anymore. So this road here, right, this is our tram road. Our tram road is going right alongside this road. And we're going to have it be, yeah, right alongside that road is great. And then we could even turn this into a highway at that point with, well, I can't because it has to be 2-way. Yeah, the roads have to be 2-directional for the trams to work. But, you know, now we have, wherever we end up setting up our industries and stuff, the tram will come out this way. And then it'll loop. At some point it'll loop and bring it right back in. Okay? So that'll be the tentative plan for the tram roads. And we'll just let it build. If they build it out this far, that's fine. We don't even need to use it right away. It'll be okay. So once they build all the roads, then I can connect these up. So I need stores in this area. Gosh, we're finally going to get to it. I know, it's shocker. Get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. They're going to use the regular roads anyway. All right. So for the store, let's go and get them a regular big old shopping center. And we'll face it, I think, this way. So our drop-off point for their supply is right over here. Logistics is going to handle this. We're going to have dedicated trucks coming in and out to handle this. So I don't have to worry about trains like pulling up right into this area. It's fine. And that gives me more room to have other stuff in here. So it's going to be kind of a tight fit in this area. So we'll have this run be, let's say, put the road on this way, this side. That's fine. Right about here, I guess there should be a good spot for this. Yeah, I like that. I like that spot. And then the road for this to supply, we got to see how these guys are going to go, right? So trucks will end up being in here. They're going to pull into here, grab stuff, and leave. Or pull into here, grab stuff, and leave. They're going to be coming from this direction. So, again, it's over by the heat and everything. We want to have things that don't involve workers. Don't have any workers, you know, being to work there. And I think distribution offices are a great idea in this area to counter that. So we'll have distribution offices be, well, as close as I can do. Once I'm done designing everything, as close as I can do it. Maybe even right here would be better. I was kind of leaving this area open in case I wanted more power expansion, but I actually have room for that anyway too. So I think I'll put one distribution office right here. I can always expand power on the other side of it. It's really driving distance that matters more, right? So I guess we'll do that. We'll put a distribution office right here. That's fine with me. Collision, almost always a tram. Doesn't matter. Because they'll just wait their turn anyway. So the trucks will come out of here, grab the stuff they need, either from this one or from this one, doesn't matter. And then they'll deliver it to the store over in here. And in order to do that, they have this extra turnaround that's positioned right here. And I did this. It's just too early. It's supposed to be here, not here. And then we have this one, which will allow for turnarounds too. So they can still use this. They just have to go all the way around, and I didn't want them to have to do that. Well, there is one way we can get around this. There's one way to fix this. We could take the meat storage that's here, And we could flip that. Okay, we flip that to be this direction instead, and that solves the problem. So assuming we fix this by going like that, okay, good. Then we could have the road go out like this. Man, I was really hoping to... I got this. I got this. Like that, and then like that, and like that. That works for me. And then we'll have this road be here. And then what we end up with is, you know, trucks coming from this side can get in here, but mostly this is going to be these guys. And then what we can do is, if cars are lining up to get in here or queuing up to get in here, we could have them queue up off the road so that they don't get in the way. Right? Something like, I was going to say something like that, but maybe we'll, yeah, like that. So hopefully they'll use this instead. And then they can queue up here. And they'll end up being backed up here if they're waiting, as opposed to being on this. That seems fine with me. We could also take this right across here too. Just an extra road. It might seem a little weird. But, I mean, we could. Let's bring this like this. Yep. Down into there. Hey, you know, whatever. I'm giving them options, right? Giving people options. There we go. Give me the factory connection right here. I apologize for doing this at night in the winter. It is the worst time to do building stuff. All right. Money's flowing pretty well, though. I like that. I'll be right back. Okay, so then we're going to put this warehouse right here. And I don't know if it's going to allow me to get a road there or not, because it's kind of angled out that way, but we'll see. Can I get a road out? I can. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to have the road come off of this highway, and we're going to have it come right across like this. And then this road will just connect right here. And this is a connected warehouse, so it has its own storage for that. For the meat, same thing as we do in a lot of places in the Republic. We got a dedicated meat truck. And the route for this, as you can see with the roads, it's kind of, you come in from this side, and then you end up turning around at this little point right here to get this way and then come in here. I'm not sure how many cars will end up using this turnaround. I suspect most cars are going to want to get through here. And so for that, they're going to have to use a different turnaround. So they have two separate turnarounds, hopefully separating the traffic is what I'm looking to do there. So we'll have that. Go ahead and confirm that too. And then we can get a gravel road that comes in from this side too. Okay, so with that done and out of the way, we have this road here, which is now coming straight across like this side. And we want to put a variety of different things here. I think maybe this intersection can come straight across as well. Can meet up over on this side. Maybe a separate road that comes through here. I want parking lots, essentially, is what I'm looking for here. I want people to be able to drive where they want to go. And I'm thinking right about here should give me adequate room for those parking lots. And then we have the roundabout idea, but this will eventually either I'll wrap this around into the roundabout on this side, which is likely, or we'll bring it around over onto this side and wrap it from this direction. Maybe even both. We could do two different directions. Maybe, yeah, we'll have the cars come around this side and then enter from this side. That's not a bad idea. Let's try that. We would go like this, roundabout connection, and then you would go out, I guess, like this, and then over from this way. Yeah, that seems to make sense to me. Yeah. I'll play around with it. I'll probably have another roundabout right here. Yeah. I don't want to like super commit to it or anything because it's not that important, and we're not going to be building this until, well, I mean, we're pretty much all on Charlevans North for a while, but this is something for Magnitograd to do. And there aren't that many construction vehicles for Magnitograd. They built this stuff a lot faster because they had helicopter support. Helicopters aren't working on this. Helicopters are all working on that. So this will build very slowly, I would say. But, you know, when they're all done with Charlevans North and everything is starting to get close to operational, we can shift helicopters to come, you know, pick up the pieces there, whatever's left over in this area too. But we can, you know, we can put a roundabout right in this area. I think probably a roundabout here could work well, except it's a tram road. And I don't want the roundabout to be you can't make it one way. So you definitely do not want a roundabout in having two-way roads. No, definitely not. So we'll go something like this could work out okay, I think. Yeah, probably. Bring this back. And then like that. You'll wrap from that side. And from this side, that seems good. Good enough anyway. From here, and then you can connect on this side like so, with a couple of extra roads that come around like this. I think maybe we would go a little bit different here. Let's have this road go that way. Yep. Nope, like that. Yep. And then we would have this road come out like so. And this road would come out like so. This is a pretty sharp turn. I don't think it needs to be quite that sharp. I mean, it does have to be sharp. You have to get around. But I think we could do a little better there. We could hit F4, for example, like this. And let's get it to be... It's a little better. It's a little better. Yeah. And then it comes around from that side. It's a little curvy, but hey, I like it. It can work. And then we'll go ahead and finalize that, I think, later. Now, I need things here. I need things here. So these are things for people. So descriptive, I know. Things for people. So like cinema, for example, for culture, and things that are going to be fun for them, right? So we can go with a cinema. Yep. Things that we need to deliver in this area probably aren't there so much. I also need to make sure there are gaps so we can have the walkways. This will be where that walkway is. So leave a gap right here, I guess. And we'll put this cinema, I guess it could be about like this. I don't want to interfere with where the roundabout is, though. So it's going to have to be more like this. Yeah, I'll probably put it right up against there like that. There's still enough room for the roundabout to exist there. I can still build that. I want something over here as well. So let's put in something small. An indoor pool would work here, actually. Should fit here. Yeah, indoor pool from here. That seems like it could work. Maybe just a little bit over, about like that should do it. Yep. So these guys can all rush to there. Of course, we're going to need additional facilities. I think in this little gap here, I'll probably put in things like the Ferris wheel, maybe even a gallery of art for additional culture impact could be over in this area. I don't know about the carousel, but I was saying Ferris wheel, but I don't know about the carousel at all. Maybe right here could be the carousel. Right, just something fun that they can use and, you know, have a soccer field, football field, etc. all throughout here. But that's going to generally give us what we need to set up our labor forces, completing the labor requirements for this entire area, providing new labor for shipbuilding, providing new labor for the airport. I don't know why I rotated that direction for the airport. And setting us up with some initial labor for potentially initial labor for our nuclear facility. Now, that is pretty far away for nuclear, I admit, but with this tram connection being possible, we could even see this tram come out and hook up to this rail and then continue on, right? This is an interstate. This is a junction. It's a little bit messy of a junction. It's partially done junction, but it's there. And we could see this come straight over and, you know, take people over to nuclear over here. And we're also going to have like we're going to say a scientific facility to test the impacts of uranium on water. We're going to attempt as best as we can to make our own Ninja Turtles. I mean, I don't know. We'll probably end up with a lot of shredders, but if we can make at least a few Ninja Turtles, I would consider the project a success. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I know that we didn't really cover much in this video. It's mostly just this setup, which I think is a good starting point for the setup. I'll go ahead and confirm that for now. I might want to pull these back just in case I need the angles to be different for the roundabout. So I'll pull these back a little bit as a just in case. And remember, this doesn't need to hook up to the roundabout. this is a place where people just walk. You don't have to hook anything up to the road connection unless you need things delivered there, which is why this is connected, because we're delivering things there. But everything else doesn't need to be. And then a big sports complex and stuff, maybe I'd put that over here. I could potentially also put it another indoor pool right here. Wouldn't need a big sports complex if I have 2 indoor pools. I think that'd probably be sufficient. We also have room for it potentially over here. But I also want like additional production for something over here too. You might want to, for example, make clothing over here. We are only making clothing in one spot too. And we got to think about expanding that a little bit. So bringing in crops, for example, on this could be possible. I think I left enough room on this to do that, although the power lines are in the way, so maybe not. Just curious. Could I put grain storage over here and hook it up to that? Not likely. No. Well, no. I don't think so. If I did, it would have to be like right here. There's only one little spot where it fits, and then this would have to connect. Yeah, the power pole, without that in the way, I think I might be able to get that there. So I might look at just taking this out and then moving it here. But I wanted it to be out of the way. But it's not like this corner is super important to me. So I could move that. It's just something I don't want to do in the wintertime. So we'll take a look at that. Maybe we can get some crops brought in here. The alternative to that is just having them stop shorter. This is a really long rail to bring that supply in. We could also split it again, right? We could go in something like, ooh, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we go in and use the other one? The one that has the rail connections. Yeah, 3,200, 5,600. 3,200 will probably be sufficient. Yeah. We could do this. This is a good way to do it. And it works with the one-way roads and everything too. Oh, for sure. Yeah, this will work just fine. We actually could bring it right up into here too. I think so. Let's rock and roll with this. Right here. Now we have those one-way roads. We just bring it out. Go like that. And then they bring it in and connect there. And then the rail can come out from this side. We're already split off the main rail, right? So we just split it again. Let's go this way, and then we'll have a crossing for the turnaround. We need to make sure there's a turnaround possible here, so we'll maybe go out this way. Yep. And then we just bring you even more rails coming out this way. Yep. And then branch off like that and like that, right? And then again, all of this is treated as a single intersection. So we would want the signals to be here. Well, move it back one, I guess. Yep, signals will be here, 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 and here. That works, but then these signals have to go away, and that leaves this whole thing as a single intersection. So we want to have the signals over here too. Let's put the chain there and there. Yep, and then these go away. Okay. Now it's still purple because this is an intersection that borders an intersection, right? There's 2 intersections here. So in order to have this really be the right colors that we're usually like expecting, we would need them to be like this. And like this. And now we'll see the colors that we expect, which is blue and orange. Yeah. Okay. That's good. And now we have a source of grain we could bring in here. A source of the crops. And you know, I mean, honestly, the source of the crops being like that, I'm just getting more ideas. This is dangerous because we just keep expanding on this in the complexity of it all. But maybe we cross over here instead. If I could get this road to cross in a different spot. Please. I saw you green. You were green for a second. Yeah, we'll cross over here. Come on now. Let me have it. Good enough. Pull this back. If we cross there, we can also just go right alongside the highway at that point if we want to. Doing that means I don't have to cross here. I can have this round around like that instead. So if I pull this away, if I get rid of all of this, we now have this road, which if I won't be able to bring that around. I have to have it be, yeah. The problem with these, right, is like once I delete this, I won't be able to cross it again because of the way the rules work with the roads. So I need to do something that allows me to, I guess this is just good enough. Cars can use this. So I'm just going to say it's good enough. I wanted it to round gently, but I'm not going to chance it. Because otherwise I have to tear this whole thing out again. The only way for me to cross the rail right here was to have a long road first, then do this junction. Then I could delete how long the road was and delete this part, put the train track in, put the train station in, and then it connected to what was already there. So if I delete it, I can't put it back. So let's say from here, we could then put our clothing industry, our clothing factories and stuff. I was going to say we could maybe put them on the off the highway right here, but there's not enough room for it anyway. Yeah. Well, we'll have trucks doing it. That's fine. Trucks will do it. And then we could have those clothing. Maybe that could be part of our industry that we serve over here. Because it keeps the pollution away. You see how indecisive I am? Right? Like you have to kind of play around with things. Sometimes you don't know really what it looks like until you plop it down and you say, does it work? And sometimes it doesn't, and then you tweak it, right? I mean, everybody's experimental, I think, in this game. Just not a lot of creators will take you on that journey and show you the process. Most of the time, they'll just cut and be like, okay, I did this. And then you look at this and kind of go, oh, they're really good at this. No, this is probably the 5th time they've put it together, and that's why it looks good. That's what Charlemagne's North is. This is like my 9th revision on this, but you guys don't see that. You see the way it looks, and you're like, wow, that's cool. Well, it didn't look cool before. I tried 7 other times where I wasn't happy with it, right? And this is going to be another one of those things. So I'll probably tweak where some of these things are. In the middle here, we have our schools and our kindergarten and things like that. Okay. I'm going to leave it here. When you guys tune in tomorrow, okay, the chat's going to be available. You can live chat, but I'm going to put slow mode on because, again, I don't know about the whole, like, I'm going to have to try to monitor my chat, I guess. It's an experiment. I've never streamed live without actively being at my computer to see it. So I'm going to have to probably have my computer upstairs at least showing me what's there. And maybe I can chime in and chat with you guys in the live chat. I think I'll probably do that. But tomorrow I watch my daughter for like 12 hours. Like that's just every Thursday. Monday and Thursdays is just like 12 hours of her. Okay. And Fridays usually too. So I'll be streaming tomorrow the build for this. It'll pick up pretty much from right here. And it'll look a little bit like this. You're not going to have all the icons over the screen, right? I don't know where my camera angle will be. I'll pick a camera angle that kind of covers everything. But I'm hoping that, you know, I'll just stream this for like 8 hours, 10 hours straight or something. And you'll be able to look at how it started and how it ended up at the end of just running for 10 hours. No idea what that will look like. I also have no idea what my money will look like either, because apparently I lost a bunch of money on vehicle imports and stuff, probably electronics imports there. But my money will look different too. So I have no idea what to expect there. I made $1 million yesterday or last month. So, okay, that's it. I hope that this finds you well. And when we come back for the next episode, it will probably be a year or two, I would think, during that live stream. And I'll make sure I'll leave it up. I don't expect anyone will watch it, but I'll leave it up and we'll see how it goes. All right. Take it easy. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.